Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. See, you just thought you saw me just a minute ago, right? You did. It is November 15th, 2022, Tuesday evening, probably maybe 5:36. I'm not sure. We've been really busy today, unexpectedly. I got up and I thought I was going to be listing a lot of stuff on Etsy, right? I was going to take pictures. We were going to take pictures, do dimension, full descriptions, all that. Well, I had so much trouble sleeping last night, and I think the problem is I am a bad habit of wanting to eat chocolate at night. And, a few pieces of chocolate is okay, but the last few nights I've not had more than a few pieces. I'm not sure why. A little bit of stress or whatever, and I'll sit. And that makes me wired. Even though I'm super tired, I've taken my night meds, it makes me wired, so then I can't sleep. So today I'm kind of in a little bit of a brain fog anyway. Had a hard time waking up. And then we needed to pay a few bills. I wanted to go over the finances with Brad and stuff before he went and bought meat or anything, so it's been hectic. We'll start with yesterday. We decided to get out of the house. We ran to, where did we go to? We went to the eye care clinic. Brad had an appointment with them in mid-December, but his glasses were so messed up. They were incredibly messed up. And so we went there to get those adjusted. And then where did we go there? We did stop at Arby's. They had the 2 for $7 sandwiches. So we got that. And excuse me. Don't you guys see my big old arms? Anyway, we went and got a sandwich each and some mozzarella sticks. I like the mozzarella sticks, but I don't want to eat a ton of cheese, so I just had a couple and let Brad have the rest. You know. So we did that and ate lunch. We went to Food Lion, and I was able to walk all of it. We're so happy that we both can walk all of the stores now instead of having to ride an electric cart, and that's a big thing for me, especially because I don't know, look at this, it's just not wanting to lay right today, because for years, even before we left Wyoming, I had to ride an electric cart, so nice that I can walk it now and not feel like I'm dying. And so we went and got, I've really been craving apples, and I'm trying to eat apples at night instead. And so I wanted to get some Granny Smith apples, and then we got some really nice looking Macintosh apples. Got a couple lemons. What else did we get there? I think, bananas out of the produce. And then they had a deal where if you, at Food Lion, and I think today's the last day of it, if you have a Food Lion near you, check it out. If you spent $35, you could get turkeys for 29 cents a pound. We got a nice 20-pounder turkey for 5 something. And we're going to cook that up, and then we'll slice it all and stuff. Then I'll boil the carcass of the turkey to make a nice broth and stuff, and then I think I'm going to make some homemade noodles. I haven't made those, I haven't made them in about 35 years, but I grew up watching my great-grandmother and grandmother make noodles, and my mother, and I've talked about that before, so I'm going to make some old-fashioned what we call egg drop noodles. So I might film part of that. But I've never made noodles, so it'll be something that, it'll be interesting. So what else did we get? We got a bag of, I hate to buy the frozen seafood, but right here we don't have the fresh, and we got spoiled when we lived in Florida about fresh seafood, but so we got a bag of frozen shrimp and breaded calamari and breaded clam strips, and then onion rings, and that's what we're having for Thanksgiving dinner. we're gonna, splurge a little bit and have that. We thought about getting crab legs, but they're so expensive. And I told Brad, I said, I like the shrimp just as well. And why are we paying all this money for the shell is what weighs so much, right? And then you have to do all this work to even get it out. So, and it's, it's frozen anyway. So, we didn't want to spend all that money. So that's what we're going to have. And, we'll probably only cook up maybe half the box of clam strips and half the box of calamari, because there's, you can only eat so much. And I don't want to stretch my stomach out, you know. No, I haven't had weight loss surgery, but through taking, the Ozempic and stuff, my stomach has shrunk down. I don't want to stretch it out. Even though now I'm taking just half the, that's what's wrong. That's why I've been hungrier, because since you can't get the 2 milligram Ozempic, which we were on, now I'm just on the 1. I just have to be more disciplined. That's all there is to it. So we got that. What else did we get? Oh, I got some orange juice, Brad. I asked if he wanted some orange juice. He got some kielbasa, which sausage we're going to have tonight. I got a couple bags of, what is it? I really like, and he really likes the veggie straws. And they're not too bad. They were 2 for $4. And this is the reduced fat ones. And it's sea salt, which isn't, they're not salted as much. But they're kind of weird. I've never seen them this small before. Yeah, but they're good. I don't eat too many of them, but Brad likes to have snacker stuff, so we have some back here. I had to move the chocolate out of this bedroom, by the way. From now on, I'm going to get a little baggie, and I'm just going to put my little 10 chocolate kisses in it. And because at night, late at night, I won't bother going in the kitchen to get food. I'm just that way. So, yeah, we did all that yesterday. Had to do a couple other errands and come home, put it away. And then today, I said, woke up and we needed to pay. I had gone over the finances late last night. I'm always worried about finance like everybody else. And so we're paying some bills. And for some reason, we couldn't get into our Verizon account because we forgot the password. So, oh my God. I have to call them up. We decided to call them up, reset the password. Then they moved us to a different plan, which is going to save us some money a month, like $20 a month. But then that meant we had to re-register and everything. And for a while, our phones didn't even work. And then only my phone would work. But I just got off the phone with them. It was a big mess. It wasn't their fault or anything. It's just how the computer is. It's like, oh my God. All of that because, But, our first bill will save us $40. And they're like, we've been with these guys ever since we started having cell phones, like back in 2000. We've always had the same number. We've always been with Verizon. We like Verizon. For a long time in Wyoming, Verizon had the biggest coverage and the most towers. Because there are a lot of spots in Wyoming that when you're traveling, we call the dead zone, which you just don't have any coverage. So, Brad spent all day with that while I was paying some other bills. And I'm trying to think straight. And then the doorbell chimed because, we have a ring bell, which will alert you if somebody is coming up. And UPS had delivered a box. So I'm lugging this box, and this box is super heavy. He's still on the phone with Verizon at that point in time. And so I finally get it inside and sit in my chair out there and undo this box, which had so many straps and tape. I should have known. And what it was a kettlebell set we had ordered, which is it's 3 kettlebells, and it's the 10-pound, the 15, and the 20. Because see, I already have in fixed dumbbell weights. I have the 3 and the 5, so I didn't want to buy a kettlebell which was in a 5. And so that's what we're going to use to work out. It's nice because you don't have to keep standard dumbbell, where you slide the plates on and stuff. You don't have to, if you're doing reps, you don't have to stop and slide weight on unless you have multiple bars. We used to, but in Wyoming, we had multiple bars and stuff. But even then, like, Brad would come in and lift, and if he put it on the barbell, then me trying to get off 25-pound weights off either end and balance, I went and bought another bar so I didn't have to mess with what he put because it was so hard. And at that point in time, we had the locking clamps on the ends that you had to squeeze. Well, that can be really hard to do. So, yeah, we're happy with them. Still working out. I didn't ride a bike yesterday, and I was feeling guilty about it. And then I realized, wait a minute, you walked all the store. And I mean, we had to go up and down aisles because, we were looking for different things. So, I mean, I got my exercise in. So, I try to do something different every week instead of just riding the bike. Even if it's one day walking in the park or walking in the store. Later on, I want to incorporate that maybe one day a week we go swimming. That kind of stuff. So, it doesn't get monotonous. Wish it can very easily. Blood sugar was up a little bit because I ate too much chocolate, so I had to take more insulin than normal, and like I said, it's something to not keep doing. I'm so petrified that I would end up in the ER again or in the ICU. I never want to go through that again. I'm so lucky to be alive because when your blood sugar is over 800, a lot of times you don't survive. Now, I will have to say, Brad and I were just talking about this. I think maybe I got a bit of brain damage from the being, basically in a coma and in and out and stuff because I will, he will swear we've had a conversation and I will swear up and down that we didn't because I don't remember it and I think that's what it is because I know he's not lying. So it is what it is. I just keep working on improving my memory and stuff. That's what we've been doing so far. I'm getting ready to go out in the kitchen here in a few minutes, and I need to go through the small freezer first and get things ready for when he comes home. We'll have to divide meat, and we're going to use the ceiling mill and label it all really well. And then I'm cutting up, we're having for dinner fried potatoes, not a whole lot, don't freak. Fried potatoes with onions and peppers and sliced kibas, that sliced sausage. I'll cook that all up and then we'll have some eggs with it. So it's just an easy deal. And then later on, this evening, I'll either have a salad or I'll have some raw veggies and protein. So that'll get all balanced out. Brad woke up not feeling real hot. I know that kind of flu is now going around where you get a real sore throat, and some people have some issues with breathing, and that's what happened with him. He's not feeling real hot. I even had him he did a breathing treatment and stuff because he was tight. So that helped. Then I try not to smoke around him because, I do smoke in our home because I don't like to be out in the cold, and he didn't want to see me out there in the cold. But I have air cleaners and stuff going, and I just do the best I can with that. I'm not going to beat myself up for it right now. Typically, this time of year is very hard for me emotionally, and I know that. And I already started to go down that rabbit hole a few days ago. And then I realized that we've actually spent more years just us than we have with family, and that's so many years ago. Like all the uh, nieces and nephews are grown and stuff now. I mean, it's been a long time. So you either adjust your attitude and accept the holidays and enjoy them for what they are now, because you can't go back. You just need to keep going forward. And I like that saying because somebody was talking to me in terms of like a relationship. They're like, well, I'm not going to go back with my boyfriend. That's done. With my ex, I'm going to look forward. And it's like, that's so true. And on so many aspects, you can't live in the past. You can't keep bemoaning the past. Yes, it hurts and stuff, but it is what it is, Friend of mine that I know through Facebook, that I know through another friend actually, I'm not going to say her name or anything, but her son came to visit her. And I think he was there maybe a week or so, and then he went home. And I don't think he was feeling real hot. Well, he ended up going to the ER, and they diagnosed him with lung cancer, and they started treatment stuff, and he was dead within a week. So that's hard. That's hard, you know. It's just like all of us think about the loved ones we lost. The other night I was thinking, I'm still dealing with this whole issue of not being told that my father was terminal, not being told he was even sick, and not being told that when he died. I will never forgive the woman who's supposed to be my mother, or the boy child, the man child, who is supposed to be my only sibling, for not letting me know. That's beyond cruel to me. That's beyond cruel. There are people in prison that are told when their family members die. And to not be told, and to find out the way I did, I will never forgive. And so I'm still dealing with the death of my father. Even though there was certainly things that he did that, and even to me, that were just horrible. He was the closest thing I had to any kind of love or being able to count on, the closest thing I had to a nurturing parent growing up. And so this is the first holiday season that I know he's no longer here. And what struck me the other day was I never thought he would leave this earth without saying goodbye. Because I would have loved to have had another conversation with him. An early morning coffee with him again. That was kind of our time. But I never thought, I guess I always thought he would reach out and contact me. I tried to contact him a few times through text. That's the only way I could. And I got no response. I never thought he would leave and not say goodbye. But I have to hold firm that wherever he is, that when you pass it, and whatever you believe, that then he is healed and he understands. And I'm just going to hold true that he knows how much I loved him. And I thank him for the positive things. And I'm sorry I didn't mean to get so emotional. But when you feel like an orphan, when you have virtually no childhood pictures, and I know a lot of you guys are going through this too, and no connection. It's like I watched this video, this YouTube channel called Faces of the Forgotten, and this guy started going to different cemeteries and learning different stories behind some of the markers, that, the headstones. And when his daughter died, I believe it was a car wreck. And I really like his content and stuff, and he's not going to be like AWP. Where was I going with this? Oh, when I see the stories of like the family plots and stuff, it really does get to you, because like I feel like I don't have family. I feel like I don't have a family where there'll be any place that's like, well, here's the mother, the father, the grandparents, siblings and stuff. Not that my family in Casper was all buried together. They were all in the same cemetery, but they hadn't been able to afford, I think, to buy additional plots. So I have one great aunt in one section, another great aunt in one, and I don't even know where my other two great aunts are buried. And then you have my great grandparents. I don't even think are buried together. I'm not sure. I don't know if she had bought the plot next to him or not. He died so many years before her. And then my grandparents are together, but they're in the new section of the cemetery. But you feel like you've lost your identity. You do. You feel like all of a sudden you're not part of anything. And what helps me get through is that I have Brad and I have such good friends, and that helps get me through. So enough about that. Let's talk about grocery prices. From now on, I realize that Aldi's does not have the best price on eggs. I can go to Food Lion right now and get a 60 count 60 count thing of eggs for under $6. And I just paid $3.95 for a dozen. So be wary of that. Like the egg prices and stuff, they Aldi's had really good prices on butter, and I understand some other places the butter is extremely high. So, yeah, the food prices are just killing all of us. I had to sit and talk with Brad this morning about, I wasn't going to pay $4 to $5 and up for a pound of hamburger. So we thought about maybe we were going to have to convert all of our dishes over to chicken because chicken is cheaper per pound. And I asked him to check out Piggly Wiggly, and they had $1.99. Even with that, I would like him to get some pork and make sausage, because that would extend that hamburger further. And I want him to get some more chicken. They had chicken for 99 cents a pound, the thighs, which is what we like. What else is he going to get there? I asked him to get some more flour, because if I'm going to make noodles and stuff, I need more flour. We're going back more and more to cooking the basics. I mean, just like we were taught. I was taught by my grandmother and great-grandmother, especially my great-grandmother, that you don't just throw away, like when you're done with a turkey and you have all the bones, but it's got bits of meat on it still. So you don't just throw that away. You boil that down. You can make yourself a really nice broth to make an excellent soup. When you're thinking of this turkey, think of it more like chicken, where you're gonna freeze meat and you're gonna carve it up, and then you're gonna use and boil that carcass, the bones, to get the rest of the meat off and make a really nice broth that you can make a soup out of then. If you're not ready for all that broth, depending on how big your turkey is, you can freeze part of your broth. Just label it very clearly. And so we're going back to doing a lot of that because we have to. We have to. These food prices are killing us all, and I know that. We haven't gone out to eat in a restaurant in so long because the food prices are so expensive. They're just insane. And I know everybody's talking about it. Y'all are probably tired of hearing about it, but I'm glad they're stressed out about it. I'm rather stressed out about it. I run a budget and stuff, and, I hate it because before we were able to save some money. One of the things we're going to do is I'm going to become more involved in the resin pouring too, because from an artist standpoint, it really, really intrigued me, the different things you can do with resin. And one of the things we want to do is, Brad talked about it, is pouring pendants, like memory pendants too. You can use a bit of the ashes and stuff. I think it's very, very precious and stuff. So memory plaques. I'm going to do some freeform resin pouring. I'm going to do some resin pouring over bowls, and it kind of makes it look very, almost like an underwater ocean kind of plant flower thing. When I do it, you'll be thing. And then we have a few other techniques we want to try. We're in a business meeting yesterday morning, Brad and I, talking about the business, and then, if we really wanted to make the resin really go, I was going to have to get more involved, and I'm going to have to help pour and stuff, and which I want to do. it's hard to decide. You only have so much time, and I have so many different crafts I want to do, and it's hard to sit and decide what you're going to do. I'm still making the headbands and stuff, but I usually just sit and make one of those or two of those in the evening. They don't take very long, but I'm going to have to get more involved in the resin. Also, with the wire wrapping, really, of course, intrigues me, again, as an artist, and wire wrapping the stones. And then I told Brad, there's some things I want to kind of do, that it's not like the tree of life, but it's more like, would look like vines and stuff. And then I want to set that piece, that stone that I've wire wrapped and have done vines and different techniques on. I want to set that all in resin, so it's kind of captured there. Because some of the pieces, like if I was wire wrapping and then I used a piece to make it look like a vine, well, if I have that sticking out on a wire string, it's going to snag on everybody's clothes. That's not going to work. So, yeah, I want to do that. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. When I start thinking about art stuff, I just, my head just kind of spins. So there's so many different things I want to try according to resin. So I'm going to get more focused on that. We're going to set the craft room up, half of it up for more serious things on that. Brad has hand tremors so bad that it's hard for him to do a lot of things, so I'm having to step in and help do that. Sometimes he really struggles to even be able to write, or like that, to take pictures and stuff with the handshakes. And I don't mind it at all. So we're going to go do this full force. And also pouring the pendants and the earrings and stuff. Everybody is so financially challenged right now. Somebody can afford, $15 as opposed to buying one of my paintings for $300, or whatever I priced it at. Not all the paintings are $300. The really big ones, yes, that take so many hours. But so that's where we're headed with that. We get that more going. Of course, it intrigues me. I, used to pour candles and that. So, of course, this intrigues me. I want to do some that are kind of like a round shape, and it's all solid resin. You'll put stuff inside. I really love conceptually all of that. I'd like to make one look like a layered ocean scene. There's so many different things I want to try. So that is really exciting to me. And to Brad. So, he needs this. When you retire in your home all of a sudden, and I know maybe some of you guys maybe were off work for a while because you had an injury or whatever, you kind of feel like you lose your identity. And I think that's the biggest problem with people if they're no longer working, is you're kind of lost. And Brad felt kind of lost, and this is really good for him. This is really good for him. We can't keep living in the past. We can't keep living in the past, even on why we're here and the reasons why we moved here and stuff. We are here. We're here. We're going to make the best of it. We're going to rock this. We're going to, we only get the one life to live. And, that saying is something like bloom where you are, or I'm not saying it right. Basically, it's like making the best of wherever you are. If you're, no matter what you're in. And frankly, we lived in an RV for almost 2 years with 4 dogs and 2 cats at one point in time. And then, of course, we lost the dog and we lost the cat. We didn't lose them. They got old and we had to put them down. Anything else we go through is a piece of cake, though. Y'all don't understand. We didn't have a working toilet in that RV. So we had a camp toilet that you used for almost 2 years. Brad would have to go and empty it every night, carry it down and empty it. Didn't have a working shower. So you'd have to go over to the bathhouse and shower. And sometimes their bathhouse wasn't the cleanest. And we didn't have any hot water. We lived without any hot water for the longest time, because we didn't want to have to go refill the propane on the RV. So we cooked mainly from electric skillets. We didn't have an air fryer at that point in time. We had a toaster oven and the microwave. We had a fridge that was not a full-size fridge, so there was that. We had a lot of our possessions in that RV, so you only have maybe about half of the space, because once you take in the space of the cab and then you take in the space of the other stuff in storage, you were living in about half of it. And like I said, and you'd always have to go sideways to get through, and so when we moved to our first trailer there in Crawfordville, it was hard for me to get used to walking, like a normal person. But we made it work. I would be so scared at night. Brad would be at work and stuff, and you never know who is camped right next to you, if they're a bad person or not. A lot of partying going on, a lot of drinking and drug use, and so Brad would literally lock me in when he went to work. He had a lock from the outside, and I would stay there except for if I had to bring the dogs outside. And I made sure I could protect myself. I mean, not a gun or anything, but when I had to do that. So this is a piece of cake. I like doing business. I like selling our homemade stuff. I've done it even before I met Brad. I was doing ceramics at that point in time that you would paint and stuff, and I did pretty well with that. And then I've owned so many different other businesses, and something I really enjoy. So, and now that was before social media. So now that I have YouTube and I have YouTube, I don't really do a thing on Twitter, and then I have TikTok. So, we'll make it. But yeah, so that's what my day is. I still feel so foggy and stuff. Charlie, hello. Wow, can you calm yourself down? So, anyway, that's what our day is like. It's going well. It's going well. It's going well. But I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so very much. What is this here? Oh, it's just a little freckle thing. But I love you guys. I do cherish your friendship so very much. I have so many nice friends I've met on here. Really have. I can't imagine my life without some of you guys. It would just be, And whatever you're facing and going through, don't be afraid to say, hey, this is a rough holiday season anyway, and dealing with the death of whoever. It doesn't matter if it's the first anniversary or if it's 30 years ago. A death is a death, and you'll always love and miss that person. So, we can do is carry on in their memory, and because they wouldn't want you to sit around and be miserable. So, wow, Charlie, am I boring you? So anyway, I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so very much. Please like and subscribe. Comment below. We love your comments. We decided midweek, like tomorrow and stuff, that we're going to kind of talk about ongoing true crime cases and maybe headline news and stuff. And that will be another thing you guys can comment and share. We really love that. We learn from you guys as well. And no, I don't know why my hair is so fly away today, but it is. What else? I think that's it. Share with your friends, if you will. Because I have a few new subscribers. Hi, thank you. And I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. If any of y'all want to come and help me clean out this freezer, I'm sure there's some stuff in there that needs to be thrown away. You get digging in your freezer and your fridge, and you're like, what is this? And you're trying to decipher what it is through the plastic bag, and perhaps you labeled, perhaps you didn't. Or how many partial bags of stuff am I going to find? Lord, who knows. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. So, anyway, I love you guys. And we'll all pretend that Brad is here, and we'll all say, bye, Brad. Bye, Brad. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.